Welcome to Limitless Mind. Today's topic is how to know you are in the right relationship. What if the reason you feel confused in your relationship isn't because you're asking for too much, but because you're settling for too little? What if love isn't supposed to feel like anxiety, doubt, or emotional exhaustion? What if the constant overthinking, the walking on eggshells, and the fear of speaking your truth are not normal parts of love, but warning signs? Most people don't stay in the wrong relationship because they don't see the truth. They stay because they hope it will change. They stay because they are afraid of being alone. They stay because they confuse intensity with connection and attachment with love. But the right relationship does something very different. It doesn't drain you. It doesn't shrink you. It doesn't make you question your worth. It brings clarity, not confusion, peace, not chaos, confidence, not fear. Imagine being in a relationship where you don't have to prove your value, where your growth is celebrated, where communication feels safe, and where love shows up even on the hard days. This is not fantasy. This is alignment. And today you're going to learn how to recognize the difference before you waste another year giving your heart to something that was never meant to hold it. A right relationship strengthens your identity instead of shrinking it, because real love is not meant to erase who you are. It is meant to reveal you more fully. When you are with the right person, you don't feel the need to edit your thoughts, soften your opinions, or apologize for your personality. You are not constantly calculating what to say or who to be. You are not living in fear that honesty will cost you connection. Instead, you feel grounded in yourself because the relationship becomes a place where your truth is welcomed, not punished. In the wrong relationship, people slowly disappear without noticing. At first, they stop doing the things they love. They stop expressing certain emotions. They stop dreaming out loud. They stop trusting their instincts. All of this happens quietly, not because they are weak, but because they are adapting to survive. When love feels conditional, the mind learns to shrink to stay safe. The right relationship does the opposite. It expands you. It gives you the courage to be more honest, more expressive, more ambitious, more alive. You don't feel like you are too much. You don't feel like you need to tone it down. You don't feel like your emotions are a burden. Instead, your presence is valued, your voice matters, and your individuality is respected. When a relationship is right, your self-respect grows, not erodes. You begin to trust yourself more because your thoughts are not constantly dismissed. Your feelings are not minimized. Your boundaries are not treated like inconveniences. You don't have to beg to be understood. You don't have to prove your worth. You don't have to earn basic respect. This kind of relationship reinforces your identity because it aligns with your values. You don't compromise your core just to keep someone close. You don't betray yourself to avoid being alone. You don't trade your peace for attention. You are supported in becoming who you are meant to be, not molded into who someone else prefers. And here is something important. Strong relationships are not built on control. They are built on freedom. Freedom to grow, freedom to change, freedom to evolve together. When someone truly loves you, they are not threatened by your growth. They are inspired by it. Your confidence does not intimidate them. Your independence does not scare them. Your purpose does not compete with their own. In the right relationship, you feel emotionally safe enough to be real. That safety allows your true identity to come forward. You laugh more freely. You speak more openly. You stand more firmly in your beliefs because you are not afraid that being yourself will lead to abandonment. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with the person. Do you feel energized or drained? Do you feel clear or confused? Do you feel empowered or diminished? These feelings are signals. The body always knows when something is aligned and when it is not. A relationship that shrinks you will always demand sacrifice of self. A relationship that strengthens you will always invite authenticity. It will challenge you but never belittle you. It will push you to grow but never make you feel small. Growth feels supportive, not threatening. When you are in the right relationship, you don't abandon your goals. You don't lose your sense of direction. You don't forget who you were before the relationship. You actually become more of that person, wiser, stronger, more self-aware. This is because love at its highest level is not possession. It is partnership. It is two whole individuals choosing to walk together without losing themselves in the process. If you ever find yourself constantly questioning your worth, second-guessing your instincts, or feeling like you are disappearing, that is not love teaching you a lesson. That is your identity asking to be protected. The right relationship will never require you to shrink to fit into someone else's comfort zone, and it will meet you where you are and encourage you to rise higher. Emotional safety matters more than constant excitement, because excitement without safety keeps your nervous system on edge, while safety allows your heart to open fully. Many people confuse intensity with love. They mistake adrenaline for connection and chaos for passion. But what truly sustains a relationship is not how high the highs feel. It is how safe you feel when things are quiet. When emotional safety is missing, You are always alert. You overthink every word. You replay conversations in your head. You wonder if being honest will create distance. You hesitate to express your needs because you fear conflict, rejection, or withdrawal. This kind of relationship may feel exciting at first, but over time it becomes exhausting because your mind never gets to rest. Emotional safety means you can be real without fear. You can share your doubts, your insecurities, your boundaries, and your desires without being mocked, dismissed, or punished. You don't feel like you have to perform to be loved. You don't feel like affection must be earned through silence, compliance, or perfection. In a safe relationship, disagreement does not feel like a threat even when emotions rise. There is a foundation of respect. You are allowed to be upset without being labeled difficult. You are allowed to need space without being accused of pulling away. You are allowed to express hurt without it turning into a power struggle. Constant excitement often comes from unpredictability. You never know where you stand. One day you feel deeply connected. The next day you feel distant and confused. That emotional roller coaster creates intensity, but it also creates insecurity. The body responds by releasing stress hormones, which can feel like passion in the beginning, but lead to anxiety over time. Real love does not keep you guessing. Real love provides consistency. You know where you stand. You know you matter. You know that even when there is tension, the relationship is not at risk. Its certainty creates calm, and calm creates depth. When emotional safety is present, you grow. You become more open, more confident, more self-aware. You take emotional risks because you trust that vulnerability will be met with care, not criticism. You stop hiding parts of yourself. You stop bracing for impact. You stop preparing for disappointment. This is why emotional safety allows intimacy to deepen. Physical closeness becomes more meaningful because emotional connection is secure. You are not using touch to seek reassurance. You are sharing closeness from a place of trust. People who chase excitement often avoid safety because safety requires presence, honesty, and accountability. It requires facing your emotions instead of escaping them. But when you choose emotional safety, you choose long-term fulfillment over short-term intensity. In the right relationship, you feel addicted to highs, you feel anchored, you feel steady, you feel supported. Even in moments of uncertainty, life does not become drama-free, but it becomes manageable because you are facing challenges together instead of against each other. Ask yourself how you feel when you express your truth. Do you feel heard or dismissed? Do you feel calmer after communication or more anxious? Do you feel like your emotions are respected or tolerated? These answers reveal whether safety exists. Emotional safety does not mean comfort at all times. It means trust. It means knowing that your vulnerability will not be used against you. It means knowing that mistakes do not equal abandonment. A relationship built on safety creates resilience. It can handle stress, change, and growth because both people know they are on the same team. In the end, excitement fades if it is not rooted in safety, but safety deepens with time. It creates a love that is not loud but lasting, not intense but enduring, not chaotic but strong. Growth feels supported, not threatened, because the right relationship understands that love is not about holding on. It is about evolving together. When you are with the right person, your desire to grow does not create tension, it creates momentum. Your goals are not questioned, your ambitions are not minimized, and your progress is not met with insecurity. Instead, there is encouragement, curiosity, and pride in unhealthy relationships. Growth creates fear. One person starts changing, learning, expanding, and the other feels left behind, threatened, or exposed. This leads to subtle resistance. Your dreams are met with silence. Your new confidence is labeled as arrogance. Your independence is seen as distance. This is not love protecting connection. This is fear trying to maintain control. In a supportive relationship, growth is celebrated because both people understand that stagnation kills connection. Growth brings new energy, new perspective, and deeper respect. You are allowed to outgrow old versions of yourself without being punished for it. You are not expected to stay the same just to keep someone comfortable. When growth is supported, you feel safe exploring your potential. You try new things, take risks, and step into bigger responsibilities because you know your success will not create distance. You know that becoming more will not cost you love. This belief alone changes how you show up in every area of your life. Supportive growth means your partner listens. When you talk about your goals, they ask questions. They offer encouragement. They believe in your ability. Even when you doubt yourself, they don't compete with your progress or compare their pace to yours. They understand that growth does not have a single timeline. When growth feels threatened, it shows up as control disguised as concern. You are told to slow down, stay realistic, or not change too much. You begin to question yourself. You hesitate to share your excitement. You downplay your achievements to avoid tension over time. You shrink not because you want to, but because it feels safer than conflict. The right relationship removes that fear. You don't have to choose between love and growth. You don't have to sacrifice your future to protect someone's ego. You don't have to dim your light to preserve harmony. Harmony in a healthy relationship is created through mutual respect, not self-suppression. Growth supported by love strengthens connection. It creates admiration and inspiration. You see each other not as obstacles, but as allies. Each person's evolution adds value to the relationship instead of threatening it. When someone supports your growth, they also hold you accountable. They encourage healthy habits. They challenge limiting beliefs. They want to see you become disciplined, see confident and fulfilled, not for their benefit, but because they care about your potential. This kind of support builds trust. You know that when life demands change, the relationship can adapt. You are not afraid of evolving because you are not evolving alone. Ask yourself whether you feel safe becoming more around this person. Do you feel free to learn, change, and transform, or do you feel pressure to remain familiar, predictable, and small? The answer reveals whether growth is supported or threatened. Relationships that threaten growth eventually become cages. Relationships that support growth become foundations. They give you roots and wings at the same time. In a relationship where growth is supported, love feels expansive. You breathe easier. You stand taller. You think bigger because you are not carrying the weight of someone else's fear. The right relationship understands that love is not about preserving who you were when you met. It is about honoring who you are becoming. Communication creates clarity, not fear. Because in the right relationship, your voice is not something you protect. It is something you use. When communication is healthy, you don't rehearse sentences in your head. You don't anticipate backlash. You don't brace yourself before speaking. You share openly because you trust that honesty will lead to understanding, not punishment. Fearful communication is a sign that something is off. When you hesitate to speak your truth, it is often because past reactions taught you that honesty leads to conflict, withdrawal, or emotional distance. Over time, silence becomes a survival strategy. You choose peace over truth. But the cost is internal tension and unresolved resentment. In a relationship where communication creates clarity, you feel safe to express needs, boundaries, and emotions without being labeled dramatic, difficult, or demanding. You are not made to feel guilty for wanting understanding. You are not accused of starting problems when you are simply naming them. Clear communication does not mean conversations are always easy. It means they are purposeful. Even hard discussions move you closer. Rather than pushing you apart, you leave conversations feeling lighter, not heavier, because things are addressed instead of avoided. When communication creates fear, you constantly worry about timing, tone, and delivery. You wonder if now is the wrong moment or if your words will be misunderstood. You walk on eggshells to maintain stability, but stability built on silence is fragile. It only lasts until the unspoken becomes unbearable. In a healthy relationship, both people listen to understand, not to defend. There is curiosity instead of accusation, accountability instead of denial. You're not interrupted, dismissed, or talked over. Your experience is acknowledged, even when there is disagreement. Clarity comes from consistency. When words match actions, trust grows. You don't feel confused by mixed signals. You don't have to decode messages or read between lines. The message is direct, respectful, and honest. Fearful communication thrives on unpredictability. One moment, openness is welcomed. The next moment, it is punished. This inconsistency trains you to stay quiet and doubt yourself. You begin to question whether your feelings are valid. This internal confusion erodes confidence over time. Clear communication strengthens emotional connection. You understand each other's expectations, values, and limits. You know where you stand and what is required to maintain harmony. This knowledge creates security, not restriction. In the right relationship, conflict is not avoided. It is managed. Differences are seen as opportunities to learn, not battles to win. The goal is resolution, not dominance, connection, not control. When communication creates clarity, you don't feel the need to explain yourself repeatedly. You're not stuck in cycles of misunderstanding because both people are willing to listen, reflect, and adjust. Ask yourself how you feel when you need to speak about something important. Do you feel calm enough to be honest or anxious about the reaction? Your body often reveals what the mind tries to rationalize. Healthy communication allows vulnerability. You can admit fear, confusion, or uncertainty without losing respect. You can say, I don't know, or I need help without it being used against you. A relationship built on clear communication can handle pressure, change, and growth because issues are addressed early and openly. Nothing festers beneath the surface. In the end, communication should feel like a bridge, not a battlefield. It should bring understanding, not intimidation. It should create clarity, not fear, because love that cannot be talked about cannot be trusted. Love shows up consistently, not conditionally, because real love is not an emotional performance. It is a steady presence. Many people confuse love with intensity, with grand gestures, or with words spoken in moments of passion, but love is not proven in emotional highs. It is revealed in patterns over time. Conditional love appears warm when things are easy and distant, when things are hard. It gives affection when expectations are met and withdraws it when they are not. You feel supported as long as you behave a certain way, think a certain way, or need very little. This creates anxiety because connection feels fragile and approval feels temporary. Consistency creates security. When love is consistent, you don't question where you stand. You don't fear that one mistake, one bad day, or one honest emotion will cost you the relationship. You know that even during conflict, care remains present. In a consistent relationship, effort does not disappear after comfort sets, and attention does not fade once commitment is assumed. Respect does not fluctuate based on mood, stress, or convenience. Love shows up in small daily actions, not just in dramatic moments. Conditional love keeps you on edge. You monitor your behavior. You avoid expressing needs. You suppress emotions to maintain harmony over time. You lose authenticity because you are refocused on preserving connection than being real. Consistency allows you to relax into the relationship. You don't feel like you have to earn affection. You don't feel like love is a reward for good behavior. You feel valued for who you are, not how useful or agreeable you can be. When love is consistent, accountability exists without withdrawal. Boundaries are respected without punishment. Disagreements are handled without emotional abandonment. Even when someone is upset, they do not disappear. They stay present and engaged. Consistency does not mean perfection. It means reliability. It means showing up even when it's inconvenient. It means choosing connection even when emotions fluctuate. Conditional love often hides behind excuses like needing space or being busy. While space can be healthy, emotional absence used as control is damaging. It teaches you that closeness is unstable and love can be taken away at any moment. In the right relationship, love does not feel like something you might lose at any second. It feels like something you can trust. You don't cling. You don't chase. You don't negotiate your worth. Patterns tell the truth more than promises. Words are easy. Consistent actions require commitment. When someone consistently shows care, effort, and respect, you don't need reassurance. You feel it. Ask yourself whether love in your relationship feels steady or unpredictable, whether care is present during stress or only during comfort, whether you are supported in difficult moments or left alone with your emotions. Consistent love creates emotional resilience. You feel stronger because you are not constantly bracing for loss. You face challenges with confidence knowing you are not alone. Conditional love creates dependence. Consistent love creates partnership. One demands compliance, the other invites mutual choice. In the end, love that shows up consistently builds trust. Trust builds safety. Safety allows intimacy, and intimacy allows love to deepen over time. The truth is, you don't need more time to figure out what kind of relationship you are in. You need more honesty with yourself. The right relationship will never require you to shrink, silence your needs, or question your worth. It will strengthen your identity, create emotional safety, support your growth, communicate with clarity, and show up with consistency. These are not luxuries. They are the foundation of real love. If what you're experiencing feels confusing, draining, or conditional, don't ignore that feeling. It is not weakness. It is awareness, and awareness is the beginning of change. Today is your moment to choose yourself, to choose clarity over comfort, truth over fear, growth over settling. Have the courage to stop asking, will this relationship change? And start asking, does this relationship allow me to be my best self? If the answer is no, remember this: walking away from what diminishes you is not loss, it is self-respect. Choose the relationship that feels safe, empowering, and real. And if you haven't found it yet, become the person who no longer accepts anything less.